This one again, if you're going to keep any card, of being fine with three, the diamond, with a raise out of position, I can play it. Yeah, more excitement down here with our Limit Holdem hands. Really haven't had much to play with, but at least there's been some action on the Badugi table. Here on the button, we've got 3-6. The 10's an awkward card. Cool, just because we've got the button. Basically, if we're in a small blind or big blind, we probably just let it go and see what other people are drawing. Got 1-2-1. Improved to one card, but it's not a fantastic one card. So take a free card. So it's now 1 all round. So, I guess it's who makes a hand. I could perhaps bet. Obviously, yeah, although I've actually made my hand, I'm going to. But with one draw to go with position, it's close. Given that there's other people in here, I think I have to raise. And he's made a 7. Again, that was close kind of decision, but probably could have just called hindsight. The trouble is, given that he's only been drawing one the whole way, and he hasn't really been shutting down too much, there's one of these other guys up here. Maybe I'd be more inclined to raise, but that was a bit of a close decision. Could have gone either way. I can't say it's never in a spot where it's really bad to raise when you make a Badugi. Our first sort of vaguely playable hand, but don't really like it in early position. No reason 2 card. Again, I'm far more inclined to play this later position, especially when it's forward to me. Something that just generally from a poker perspective, it's an open pot. I'm much more likely to. Okay, so we swapped out 2, and it was 2-1, 2-1-2, and now this guy's come out and bet, which is interesting. We have improved now that we've picked up the other 2. Interesting if these guys on 1 pat. He's pat, but our draw is so strong. Well, the fact that he it was a delayed. One would assume that his pat hand isn't so strong. Obviously we missed, so it's just a simple fold there. When is a Badugi? No Badugi. Not a Badugi. Yeah, that's the 5-card draw hand that you want. Again, more excitement on the Limit Holdem. It's a fun game. Happy for all. I don't think I've actually played a hand apart from checking the big blind. The only one that I kind of thought about vaguely was that I suited in early position. Makes for a really fun game. But again, as I was saying, at least the Badugi's had some stuff to go on about. Um, Something I find sort of not so bad if I'm playing multiple tables with different games. I seem to be able to handle it if it's just sort of straight one game on each table. But I have tried actually sort of eight gaming, two or three tables and stuff like that. And when you've got a game that's constantly changing, it's very difficult to multi-table. Whereas if you've got sort of just one game, I find can maybe you're not playing optimally, but it's still definitely doable. Whereas if say these two are two 8 game tables, when you've got like you might have a PLO up the top and then a Limit Holdem down the bottom, and then there's a game change, and all of a sudden you're playing a no Limit Holdem up the top, or sort of 08 or something like that. You've always got to take that extra bit of time to figure out, okay, which game am I actually on? So it sort of takes away some of your thinking time, that type of thing. Queen 5 offsuit, the big blind, we're not going to play to a raise, especially not with a 3-bet, so it's an easy fold. Hopefully keeping the Badugi table going. One card draw in big blind. It's not a fantastic draw, but we'll check it and take one. Okay, interesting. We've got 3, 3, 2, 2. And I've picked up the horrible card. It's a card that you don't want because now I've got that dilemma where you'll be throwing away the wrong one. I'll try throwing away the spade. Probably pick up a club. Maybe pick up another pair. And this guy comes out betting. I think we'll just let it go. I don't think a 9's actually going to be good here. I think he's probably made it, based on what he's done before, he's probably made an 8 or a 7 at least. There you go, he's made a 7. So yeah, I would be drawing dead. Again, the fun dilemma, which just to throw out. Try throwing the heart, see what happens. Then we've gone 2, 1, 2. So the man who's gone 1, who's betting now. Even though we're not sort of overjoyed about our 1 card draw. And we're drawing all 10, so we'll just let it go. Again, apologies about the lack of action on the Limit Holdem table. I just really haven't had anything to play, and for the most part, people seem reasonably tight. $33, $24, $19, $14. Anyway, I've got some action up the top with a good 3 card. Take it down pre-draw. Don't have anyone who's really really out of range with out of line in terms of their sort of raise and pre-flop. So it's 33-24 is the most aggressive guy I've got here, so it's not really a very aggressive table at all. At least in terms of pre-flop action anyway. Yes, it's a Badugi. Yes, I'm going to fold it. And I could maybe just drop. One thing I hate about this game is when you get a hand like this where you sort of just have to bet and hope. Or you drop the king and kind of end up in a situation where you're kind of regretting, you should have thrown the king. Obviously, it's a much different story if I'm in later position, but given that I'm first to act, I have no problem folding a hand like that. Yes, call me a nit or whatever, but out of position, it's just really tough to play. It looks like half the table's dropped out and we're short-handed, so we'll raise our king-queen. And it's a bit of restraint with top pair, the excitement of Limit Holdem. Take it down on the flop. Fun for everyone, and we're down to a 4-handed game, so again, this is a problem that I've noticed last day or two when I've been playing on Stars, that trying to actually get a game that lasts for a while seems to be kind of tough to do. A lot of games sort of run for a little while and then drop out. Up in our Badugi table, obviously we're passing the king. Given that we've already seen 2 hearts, we're probably going to keep the heart and throw the club. Obviously, as much as you dislike throwing it at an ace. If you want to be a smart ass in a live setting, this would be the kind of thing where you could, maybe do the oops, I flashed an ace when you're discarding. Here it's gone 1, 2, 1, 1. Made a Badugi, but it's ridiculously weak. Plus out of position. This is where we have our dilemma. We're not really going to be pat because our Badugi's not going to beat anything, so we have to be drawing 2, and I don't think I can be drawing 2 here, so we'll just fold. I'm assuming this guy's probably going to be pat, and in which case if he is, I can't really beat anything with the King Jack, so I have to be drawing 2, and I'm not going to take 2 with wow. Maybe you're snowing. Given that he's flat folded to a bet from this guy, although this guy has been playing fairly tight. Again, happy to see our draw. Discard 2, and we actually have a playable hand down on the bottom. We've got 3 and 1. That's a very good card for us. He's pat, but again, happy to see bet this all day. Just fold on the river. He's made a weak Badugi with a jack, but couldn't really do much else there. He's obviously not folding, but Jack 9 here short-handed with a limper. Probably not worth playing him. Might sort of argue that you could get involved here, but then again, I'll tend to err on the more conservative side. And again, here if it wasn't hand Jack 9, depending on the action, if it's checked to me, I'd definitely bet this. Obviously, with middle pair. Bet to me, call, probably with the initial plan of calling down, but maybe reevaluate on the turn depending on what comes up. You've got the type of hand with Jack 9 on the Queen Jack that there's a lot of cards that um, there's a lot of cards that could sort of improve a hand but not really improve a hand. Say like a more so an 8 than a king. To give us a gut shot with a 10. Obviously, a 10's a good card, 9's a good card, Jack obviously, but there's a lot of cards that aren't sort of ideal for us, like an ace or a king, probably not ideal, given it doesn't really help our hand, and if it would be a low card like a 3, 4, 5, something along those lines, a relative brick, again, that initial plan of maybe just calling down would be probably something we need to stick to. The second pair, reasonable kicker. Because obviously there are a lot of hands that you could be betting their hand like King 10, 10, 9 in sort of draw that we're in front of. Ace 8 suited here. Given that he's just limp, we probably have the best hand. Happy to take it down. Obviously with a paired board, he basically either has the king or doesn't have the king, so it's sort of tough for him to call unless he's obviously got the king or the 9, the other card.